We've got Liz, our lizard. She's hanging out over my shoulder here.
Well, thanks very much, Dean. It's fantastic to be here.
Yeah, Liz Truss in the news.
Insects are the food of the future.
Cricket snacks.
Sounds good.
What are you talking about? Lizard! Reptilian hybrids.
Of course, there's more. FinancialTimes.com has the headline, Truss acknowledges market disruption caused by her difficult decision. Now, they have changed this headline. The original headline was, Truss says British economy needs a reset after market sell-off. And then, I don't know why they changed it, but they did. And in this new article, they completely removed the word reset. And I think I know why. I'll get into that in a minute. But basically, over the last week here, we saw the UK, the currency crumble, banks almost collapse. I wouldn't say it was a complete collapse, but definitely some turbulence, financial turbulence. And here's what the article says. Prime Minister Liz Truss has conceded that her government's £45 billion mini budget had caused short-term disruption, in quotes, but insisted that she had an iron grip on the national finances and would deliver economic growth. Truss argued that the existing economic status quo in the UK, quote, was not working, adding that the country had for too long been held back by, quote, low growth and high taxes. As a result, her government was willing to, quote, do things differently, she said, writing to the Sun newspaper. Quote, it involves difficult decisions and does involve disruption in the short term, she added. And again, it goes on a little bit more. Recent polling had indicated widespread public dissatisfaction with the government, with Labour rising to a 33-point lead, according to a poll published earlier this week by YouGov. Of course, 33 being a signaling number that we always point out. Quote, not everyone will like what we are doing, but I want to reassure the public that the government has a clear plan that I believe is right for the country, Truss wrote. I am determined to take a new course to unleash our potential, get the economy growing, and deliver a better future for everyone. Now, Liz Truss hasn't been in government not 6 months. She's already unplugging, replugging the board there in many different ways, causing disruption. And no surprises there. I think some of her insiders is who gave away the reset comment. This is theguardian.com in the headline. She needs a reset moment. Team Truss hopes to regain control at conference. And it says here, after a catastrophic week, Liz Truss hopes the conference will give her some space to wrest back control of the party and set out her plans on her own terms. Quote, she needs a reset moment, one insider admits. An insider admits, although she currently seems to be the only person who actually thinks that might be possible. The underdog play. So there you go. That's Liz Truss. Basically pulling the Great Reset move. It's the blueprint. And, he's probably in the back room having a conversation with Klaus saying that, it's not going to be popular. People are going to be against you.
We need a great reset.
Learn to use the dark side of the Force.
And so as long as she understands that it's part of the game, people are going to hate you, but this is how you gain power. This is how you learn to use the dark side of the Force. Then all is well. She'll be leading the charge. And perhaps as part of it, it's to, allow the rest of the world, like the U.S., to maybe come in and help a little bit. Part of the reason why the other currencies around the world, including the UK, is crashing is because the U.S. Fed keeps hiking rates, and it's causing these other currencies to crash. But we're not in a recession, folks. Don't worry about it. We're not in a recession. Or if we are, it's transitory. It's not going to stick around. This is a Vox.com article. The UK's growing economic crisis explained. And again, it goes more into the situation with the Bank of England and what happened over the week here. The situation in the UK sent global financial markets into a tailspin, though the present crisis has been driven by a combination of factors, including the economic fallout of Brexit. Prime Minister Liz Truss's recent package of tax cuts has helped push the UK's economy into chaos. So there you go. She's stirring things up for sure, and we'll pray for all those UK folk out there. Let's see. There's a quote here. Although Truss instituted a price gap on energy costs earlier in September, as in other nations, real wages in the UK are not keeping up with inflation. Hey, real wages not keeping up with inflation sounds like everywhere in the world. Why? What caused inflation? Money printer. Julian Jacobs, an economist at OMFIF, told Vox, quote, "The UK has seen an influx of striking activity, tube strikes, train strikes, largely as a result of wage stagnation," he said. When combined with high inflation, high energy costs, and more expensive borrowing, the people who stand to suffer the most are the ones who can least afford it. Again, the destruction of the middle and lower class as the rich get richer. It's part of the Great Reset. You gotta do what you gotta do to make sure that, the controllers keep the control. And there you go. That's part of the whole system there. With Liz Truss. And, part of it is that they got to keep printing the money.
Money printer go boom.
And how are they going to do that? Well, Wall Street Journal came out with this today. UN, that's the United Nations, calls on Fed, other central banks to halt interest rate increases. Oh, you mean it's causing issues? I have the paywall here, so I can't get into the whole thing, but it says here, the Federal Reserve and other central banks risk pushing the global economy into recession, followed by prolonged stagnation. They don't want to say depression because that freaks everybody out. So they won't say that, but that's really kind of what they're talking about. We're already in a recession. We are headed towards recession. Remember, the media is always a step behind when it's telling the public about what's going on. So yes, the Federal Reserve and other central banks risk pushing the global economy into recession, followed by prolonged stagnation if they keep raising interest rates, a United Nations agency said Monday. There you go. And it's part of the India's United Nations group there. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, don't stop raising the rates, Jerome Powell. We need help over here. Stop that. Print more money.
Money printer go boom.
Just print more money and things will be fine.